All right, so we're starting with a probe. So what you guys are going to see tonight is Ben Mason is going to be on Lurrus Bug, and Ken Loiterman is on Lurrus Grixis with Thassa's Oracle combo. So they're both running Lurrus. They're both very different. What's pretty interesting is I've played both of these guys when they were on the same deck before Lurrus, but these decks look very different. Not being able to play a 3-drop that's a non-land permanent in your deck because of Lurrus changes this a lot. So on the Bug side, you lose Oko, you lose Narset, and you lose Leovold, and losing Leovold is it could be a big sacrifice. On the Grixis side, you lose Narset, you lose Dak Faden, and I think that's all that Ken is sacrificing here. But they both made changes. I think one of the exciting things we see is that cards like Dark Confidant have come back in a big way, and I know that Ben is playing that tonight. I believe he's playing 3 copies, and it's great to see Bob being played again. Even if it took a whole new mechanic to see him come back, but he's back in a big way.
Looks like he followed up with Thoughtseize, and
he did.
What does he have there? Is that
looks like he's got an
Ancestral, Merchant Scroll, Young Pyromancer,
Fatal Push, and it looks like
2
2 Underground Seeds.
Gotcha.
And he drew a Merchant Scroll. I think that might be a Time Walk.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bud Life.
Oh wow, he follows up the Thoughtseize with an Ancestral. He did a lot of damage
quite a
to
turn.
himself.
Brainstorm and response.
Wow, the days is huge. What a hand from Ben. Ben is a great hand here.
I guess Ben's at 18, right?
Ben should be at 15. Thoughtseize, Gataxian Probe, and a Fetch.
Oh, you're right.
And Ken is still at 20, and he just got wastelanded.
Well, that sucks.
Yeah, so this tends to be a pretty grindy matchup. So on the 2 sides of it, you've got Bug, which is always known as the... Wow, and another Thoughtseize. Bug is the resource denial deck, right? It's the Wastelands, the Assassin's Trophies. It used to be Leovold, no Leovold right now, but you're cutting people off as many resources as you can as fast as you can.
All right, so he hit the Merchant Scroll.
That makes sense. He's trying to keep him off Ancestral, and now he knows what he has to play.
Let's see.
All right, so he's got to play the Young Pyro. He's kind of choked on options. Now, Ben can't let this get too out of control, because if he lets the Young Pyromancer run away, he is already at 15 life. He's actually at 13 life.
Now, yeah.
13
is that Demonic Tutor? Yep, Demonic Tutor. What would he be looking for now? Some kind of removal spell?
Well, he's probably looking for a removal spell. I mean, he doesn't really want to get Bob here, not at 13 already, with a threat, and Tarmogoyf isn't great. All right, Black Lotus makes sense. We'll see what's in his hand. Oh, or he's just getting Lurrus. All right, and gets back Lotus. Now this is how Lurrus is broken in Vintage. The Lurrus into Lotus into Lurrus has a lot of busted plays, and there's Bob. And Bob and Dark Confidant.
And Deathrite Shaman, yeah.
Deathrite Shaman. And this is a really cool interaction with Bob, is that as long as Lurrus has the ability to swing, it can really pad your life total.
Ah, that's true, yeah.
Yeah, they have a good interaction together. You obviously don't want your Lurrus to die, because its interaction with Lotus is so powerful, even if it just sits there the whole game.
Right.
Well, Ken drew his own Lotus. We got to see if he can turn it into anything. I'm not sure how many cards are in Ben's hand. He's using a
Lotus
lot of
within
resources.
a Lotus right now. There's Lotuses everywhere on the left side of the screen.
There are.
So he's got Fatal Push, an unknown card, and what we believe to be a Time Walk.
Yeah. All right, so he's playing his Lurrus.
All right, so now there's 2 Lurruses out there, 2 cats.
Wow, Ben had a Force, too. Wow, Ben's hand. Oh, he's empty-handed now, though. All right, so I think. All right, so he's going to Time Walk. He's got to use this Fatal Push.
Right.
I think he's either got to push the Lurrus or the Bob. It's kind of hard to know what's scarier. I mean,
Well,
the
if you
Lurrus
push
is getting.
the Bob, he can just replay it next turn.
Yeah, oh, that's very true. Man, I keep forgetting how insane this card is.
Yeah.
So, you gotta push the Lurrus.
Yeah. Unfortunately, you have to. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you hope that his Bob does him some damage. But now he's got Deathrite, which is another great combination with Bob.
Yeah. He also can shut off his opponent's Lurrus with Deathrite.
True.
He doesn't have green yet, though. Oh, he does have green. He does have green.
He does have green. Yeah, he's got a Trop. All right, and now Ken's in top deck mode, so he needs something good here.
And he's got the 2
and,
elementals.
For some inexplicable reason that I'll never understand, Deathrite is a 1/2, so you can't even swing into it. Nothing off the Bob. Bob's being good so far.
Yep. Filthy Hippie, what's up? Thanks for following.
Chris, were you around to see the amazing Joe Brennan game with the Leyline of the Void flips?
Like, was I there?
Did you ever see the stream when that happened?
I'm not sure.
Oh, man. All right. So we got some flooding going on. So Eternal Extravaganza 7, Joe Brennan was playing Bug, and this was old Bug. So this was...
That I remember, yes.
Yeah, when Bug was, Dark Confidant based, and you basically got into your Jace. Your Jace kept you alive.
Narset was not restricted at the time.
There was no Narset, but Probe was around. But Narset wasn't around.
Oh,
Narset
this is going back earlier than this year.
Yeah. So this is going back to EE7. All right. So it looked like we got a Fatal Push and a Tarmogoyf.
Yeah.
The Goyf's be pretty big too.
I didn't see if Ken lost some life there.
He fetched. So. All right. Okay. The Mystical Tutor could be good here. That's a pretty good top deck. I think he fetched. And I think he lost 2 life off of the Deathrite. And wow, I mean, Ben is really drawing well here. He just drew the misstep. He just has it all.
So I guess he lost 2 more life to misstep. He's at 10.
All right. Okay. All right. So he's still in it. All right. They're both in top. They're both having some serious top decks. He's trying to make this
What's up,
as
Roland?
small as he can.
Sorry.
All right. So it looks like he's trying to make this Goyf as small as he can with the Treasure Cruise. He needs something to go his way. He's got to get this Bob off the board. The Tarmogoyf's not too scary with the active young Pyromancer, but he also knows that Ben is a Fatal Push.
Oh, did he just cast that Treasure Cruise? Yeah, he did.
He did. Yep.
All right.
It was a pretty solid top deck there.
Roland MTG says, "Sup."
I don't know who that guy is. Who's that guy?
Some guy.
I don't know.
Some scrub. Filthy Hippie. I'm just playing. Filthy Hippie says, trying to watch Mason brick. So Benjamin Mason has haters.
He does. All right, let's see what we're doing here. We're getting pretty wide on. I mean, he's got to find a way to pressure Ben's life because he needs the Bob to start helping him. Oh, another Preordain. His Pokemon tokens are getting quite wide here now.
Yeah. You might need a die. He ain't. I don't know what that means.
What?
Filthy Hippie said he ain't. I'm not sure what that means.
Not sure.
Board's getting messy on the left.
Maybe saying he's not bricking.
Oh, he's not bricking. Yeah. Bricking he is not.
All right. We got a fetch here, so I think that puts Ben to 9.
I think he's at 9, yeah. Bayou. Yeah, he ain't bricking. Yeah, he ain't bricking, that's for sure.
All right.
Thanks for the host, Filthy Hippie.
I assume the plan is... That's interesting whether he's going to pad his life total or drain him. No, he's just going to drain him. Okay.
All right. Exiles the Fatal Push. Do these decks have Snapcasters or any way to cast instant sorcerers out of the grave?
I do not know, to be honest.
What is that, Mr. Remora on top?
I don't think that was a Mr. Remora. That'd be strange for him to be playing Mr. Remora.
I think it was. I think that's why he has the Mr. Remora mat, too.
Really?
I
It
think
is a Mystic Remora.
it is Mr.
Wow.
Remora, yeah. I
All
know
right,
my
can't have
random
value for
cards.
that. All right, okay.
I'm an Ice Age kid.
All right, let's see what we got. Oh, Vamp Tutor in response.
All right, Vamp
And the
Tutor.
Spell Pierce.
Spell Pierce.
Man. He could just...
Get wrecked.
Now, his board is getting pretty wide, though, so he could be in overrun mode soon.
Yep.
So I'm not sure if either of them are playing Snapcaster. Some bug decks do, others don't. I know Ken has recently changed his list. I'm not sure if he's playing Snap or not.
I love Snapcaster. It's one of my favorite cards.
It's always so good, too.
All right, he's counting up his elementals. Maybe he's thinking he can swing for lethal here around the creatures. Maybe not this turn, but eventually.
Yeah, and he's got... All right, let's see what he's playing.
Young Pyromancer can really make Goyce look embarrassing.
And dig through
time. All right, this one might resolve.
Right. Mystic Remora trigger.
All right, Mystic Remora trigger, yeah.
He's pointing at it a lot.
Is that a Lotus Petal in play? That is.
There's a Lotus Petal in play.
Roland MTG says, what the matchup here? Grixis versus Bug? Yes, Grixis versus Bug.
That is correct, Roland MTG.
Everybody's favorite.
So let's see. How many Pyromancer tokens do we have?
I think there's like 7.
7 that can attack, plus a young Pyromancer. So, not sure swinging out. Swinging out's still not really getting him where he wants to be.
No Lurruses are alive at this point. So they're out.
Lurruses are all gone. They did their work. All right, so we're swinging out. We got 7 coming in. He can block 4. He can block 3, I'm sorry. All right, 7 plus the young Pyro. So we got 9 damage coming in. Goyf's obviously blocking 1.
Yep.
I mean, I think it's going to be 3 blocks here for sure, because the Bob is becoming a liability. All right, those 3 go down. He takes 6. He gets some more food for his Deathrite Shaman if he wants to gain some life here.
All right, so
you got to pay for that Mystic or
3.
more when he untaps. I believe he's at 3 or 4.
All
All right.
He's at 3.
Let's see what he's doing.
Exiles to gain life. Exiles the Pyromancer. So he's up to 5.
Sense. All right. Oh, we're paying for Remora. I would pay with the Bayou here. Yeah, he's paying with the Bayou. Bayou not producing blue makes it your worst land in play with C and Trop both in play. All right. Draw here. Cruise.
Treasure Cruise.
Yeah, so I'm not sure if he's playing a main deck sweeper, like a main deck Toxic Deluge. That would be something that would really slam the door here for him. I mean, it would give him a lot of time. I'm not sure if he's playing one, though.
Is Grixis running Lightning Bolts, though?
I would assume
Could
so.
be risky. Pyroblast.
I believe Ken plays 4 Pyroblasts in his main deck. He loves the card Pyroblast, so your blue spells are definitely not safe when you're playing Ken. I'm not sure if he's playing Lightning Bolt, though.
Let's get a life total check from these guys.
He is playing Demonic Consultation.
I'm going to try to get a life total check from these guys. I'm going to put their microphones on.
Okay.
Hey, guys, just want to check your life totals.
I'm at 4.
Okay.
And he's at 17 because I think you took him for the Mystic for the Vamp Tutor, but he didn't actually take it. I countered it, so.
Gotcha. Thanks, guys. All right, I'll let you back to it.
All right. Well,
All right, so Ken looks like he's in pretty good shape here. He's got 6 elementals. I mean, he's probably just swinging out here for sure. He's got to go wide. He's blocking 2, taking 4. He's got to soak up 2 more life with this Deathrite Shaman, but he's still in a pretty precarious position depending on what's in Ken's hand.
Yeah, so before damage, he's going to try to gain 2 life to live.
Yeah.
2 of the elemental tokens are already off screen, but we're waiting before damage, actually.
Okay. All right. We're tapping. There's a Thassa's Oracle.
Thassa's Oracle. So he's at 2 now.
He might just be winning the game here. Okay. Lots of elemental
consultation. All right. Let's listen in to what they're saying. All right, we want to hear what you guys named.
what?
What did
Oh,
I
for
name?
you didn't name anything.
I
Actually.
named
Okay.
Dance Pathetic Marionette.
It's always
All right,
Dance
so if you
Pathetic
guys haven't
Marionette.
if you're watching this and you haven't seen this combo, Thassa's Oracle costs double blue.
All right, so we're
and
not
it says
sideboarding this
when
game.
it comes into
Okay.
play, you
I'll be
scry X, where X is your devotion to blue, and then if X is more than the cards left in your library, you win the game. If you're just tuning in, Ben is on Bug.
All right,
Ken
Ben's
is
on the
on
play.
Grixis. Thoughtseize.
Roland MTG says, I'm 2-0 lifetime versus Ken with his Thassa's shenanigans. Come on, Mason. So Mason has supporters and haters alike.
He does.
Filthy Hippie says, I play win GG.
All right.
All right, so
Okay,
starting
so
with
we got
Thoughtseize here.
Thoughtseize here. This is a pretty good hand. I've taken the preordained. I think that makes sense. I think the preordained and the Yogg will make sense here, but his Yogg will's not doing anything. His preordained is his only selection.
Yep.
All right, so Ben's at 18.
Yep, Ben's at 18.
Ken, both have a. All right. Just some mana on his side. Let's see what Ben has as a follow-up.
He drew the Pyroblast, though. That's pretty good.
Well, I think he has a Pyro. He had the Pyroblast.
Oh, he did. Sorry.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he did. All right. We're seeing a lot of fetching here. This could just be a Lurrus.
Either way, good to have a Pyroblast.
True. All right, let's see. Underground Sea, I'm assuming the next one's going to be a tropical island. It is.
Yep.
And I assume we're seeing Lurrus here.
Would be on theme for tonight's show. I think Benjamin is at 16 now.
Yes. Yep, we're seeing Lurrus. Here comes Lurrus.
Here comes the star of the show, Lurrus of the Dream Den.
That's right. All right, Lurrus is not doing too much right now. He's just a 3/2 with lifelink. There's nothing to bring back from the graveyard. Ken has a pretty good opportunity if he can get this thing off the board here.
Alright, drops a land. Would he play his own Lurrus here, or does he wait?
If I was him, I wouldn't. It's kind of hard to play a Lurrus into an empty board against Bug.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, an empty graveyard against Bug. They have so much removal. You just don't want them to untap and destroy it, especially because your Bug opponent has a handful of cards and they didn't do anything, right? He just cast a Lurrus. So to me, that either says my Bug opponent is holding a lot of reactive cards or a lot of kill cards, right? And here's a Bob.
All right, here's a Bob.
All right, Dynamic Duo is together again.
And again, he has to kill Lurrus before he can kill Bob.
Right. And we know he's playing Fatal. We know he's playing Fatal Push. I'm not sure if he's playing Push and Bolt.
Right. Are there any
so
other
he's-
creature removal spells played as a regular main deck card?
In Grixis, no.
Oh, I guess Lightning Bolt.
Yeah, Bolt and Push are
Yeah.
the big two you see in Grixis. Outside of that, it's pretty rare. And then in the board, you'll see Infernal Reckoning on rare occasion. In blue-red, you very sporadically see Magmatic Sinkhole. That's only because they don't have access to Fatal Push. All right, here's a Gush.
And you can hit Planeswalkers, which is relevant.
True.
All right. Okay.
Gushing
Gush.
off blue-red here. Oh, it looks like maybe black-red Gush. It's strange. All right, so black-red Gush. If you're out there and you don't play Vintage and you've never experienced casting a Gush, there's a whole book written about it. It's a pretty complex card. It's a very important card to the game.
My good friend Gordon is an expert on this book.
Yeah, he played last week. He read the whole book.
He read it cover to cover twice.
Yeah. Didn't really help him, but he did read it.
Hey, he beat Roland MTG. I remember that part.
He did. All right, now we have a Lurrus coming
All
in.
right, a Lurrus versus a
from this
Lurrus.
side. All right, red is floating, using that red to hold up Pyroblast and protect his Lurrus from the evil force of will.
Makes sense.
And we've got a
And we're
force.
going to see the Force anyway, but he doesn't know.
Force-
Oh, well, he does know
Force-
he has Pyroblast. What am I
Pitching
saying?
force and negation. So he's going to Pyroblast it. I assume there's a Spell Pierce coming, or a Misstep. Okay. All right, so let's see. That puts Ben. Wow, Ben went from.
I believe he's at 16 now.
16, game 3 off Lurrus. Just lost 3, so he's back at 16.
Yep.
Deathrite Shaman off the Bob.
Deathrite Shaman, so he goes to 15. Deathrite Shaman's so good.
All right, 5 coming. Oh, it's such a ridiculous card. Yeah, this is a similar situation to what we had last game, except there's no young Pyromancer on the Grixis side, which turns the tables a lot when you're just getting bashed for 5. I assume we're going to see the Deathrite Shaman come down here. I'm not sure what else is in Ben's hand. Ken's got a lot of cards in his hand. We know that one of them is a volcanic island. We're not sure what the other 5 faced up. Now we're going to find out. All right, Thassa's Oracle, Pyroblast, Nihil Spellbomb, Island, and then there's that volcanic island. So as a point here to the Nihil Spellbomb, because of Lurrus, it's been much easier to free roll main deck Dredge Hate in your deck, right? Cards like Nihil Spellbomb not only are main deck graveyard hate, but they also replace themselves. And because you can draw a card off of it, it's so much easier to just free roll it in your deck, because even if it's bad against your opponent, it at least draws you a card. And you can draw a card off of it every turn if you replay it with Lurrus, if you're not doing anything else. And if your opponent's on Dredge, you just crush them with your main deck hate.
True.
I will say this, as a Dredge player, the fact that Nihil Spellbomb targets does make a difference. I won a match over the weekend because my opponent had main deck Spellbomb and I had Leyline of Sanctity, and they were not playing Soul Guide Lantern.
Oh, he plays Thassa's Oracle.
All right, plays Thassa's Oracle.
Maybe for value this time.
This is a value Thassa's Oracle. This does happen. I have seen Ken win games just with Thassa's Oracle beatdown. I believe he plays 3 in the deck. So I have seen him just use them to start attacking people. I think right now the role of this Thassa's Oracle is probably so that Bob cannot attack him again.
Roland MTG insists that Gordon winning that match last week was all luck. And Filthy Hippie says cat versus cat. That's pretty much what's going on now. Although one cat is gone. It
could be cat versus Pokemon Dragon or whatever that thing is. Oh man, no fear, swinging in with the Bob.
I don't think he cares if that dog dies.
Going. All right, well, this is Thassa's Oracle. I'm not really sure why he attacked with Bob there, if he can't protect it because it just dies. But all right.
All right, so he's at 21.
Let's see what his follow-up is.
And he's at 8. Ken's at 8.
Yes. Ken is running out of time quickly. And another Deathrite shot. And we know that Ben has a Spell Pierce in his hand. So
right.
Ken needs that demonic consultation right now. Because he's running out of time. He at least needs a cantrip, something to help him find a win here. And this is one of the interesting things about playing against Bug. You see that Ken has been holding a Pyroblast. Preordain can be good here. You see Ken is holding a Pyroblast and a Flusterstorm, and he's been holding them all game, and they've been almost useless against the Bug deck. Because he's playing all non-blue threats, right? The only time he could have used a Flusterstorm is when he would have Flusterstormed the Force of Will.
True.
So some of these cards, like, a lot of these Grixis or Jeskai decks are playing 4 Pyroblasts, and you can play these Bug matchups and just feel terrible about it the whole time. All right, we're going to see a value Spellbomb, I assume. He's probably going to cycle this to draw a card.
Seems good. He can start... it's relevant also to turn off your opponent's delve cards. They can't exile their stuff out of their own graveyard.
It's not without uses, especially against Bug. Make sure Tarmogoyf's smaller, your delve spells get turned off, your Deathrite Shamans can only access one graveyard. All right, there's a Fatal Push. All right, there's something.
Land Go says, last time I played Vintage, I played a homebrew that was 4-color with Dak, Lavinia, and Managorja Hydras. Are those decks still relevant at the moment, Dean?
Again, Lurrus has taken over so much that you're actually seeing a huge dip in Planeswalkers. It doesn't mean those decks are not relevant, but you're sort of at a stage right now where if you're not playing Lurrus, you're trying to beat Lurrus, right? Unless your companion is the card Bazaar of Baghdad. You see a lot of the non-Lurrus people are trying to beat the Lurrus decks. So it could still be relevant. You would just have to update it based on the current meta.
All right, I'm just going to check in with them on their life totals. Let's tune in.
And I'll just pass.
Just want to get a life total check for you guys.
I have him at 6 and me 21.
Oh, I was way off. I thought he was at 2.
What's he at? I think he's at...
All right.
That card was, and it's not good enough to do anything.
What were our life totals here?
All right, so Ken's at 6. Ben's at
6, that
21.
makes sense. Yeah, he's in some trouble, though. Oh, okay. Casting the Yogg Will for desperation value, possibly.
Roland MTG says Lutri exists.
Lutri does exist. Not as popular as Lurrus.
Yep.
So, if you haven't figured out what Lutri is yet, Lutri is another companion. It is blue-red. Its drawback, if you can call it that, is it requires you to build Singleton. All your non-land cards can only be a one of, and Flusterstorm on the Spell Pierce here. And if you meet that drawback, its upside is it's a 3/2 with flash, lets you copy a spell, and you can choose new targets for the copy. So in Vintage, it's not as powerful as Lurrus, but it is seeing some play.
A little counter battle there.
Yeah, Ken's in
And I
trouble
think
here. He's going
now-
to lose 4 down to 2, and I think that's probably the end of the game. Okay, so some interactive magic. So we're going into sideboards. 1/1 Grixis Bug. Now,
What companions besides Lurrus and Lutri are seeing play?
in Vintage,
Yeah.
none that I've... So, I know I'm going to say it wrong. I think it's Omori or Umoroi. Omori.
The black-green one, yeah.
The black-green one. So I know there's rumors of a Shops deck playing that. But Lurrus is seeing play in Shops. But there's a deck rumored with Omori being played in Golo Shops. And they can't play Lurrus because their curve is way too high.
Gotcha.
That's the only thing I've seen. So Garuda doesn't see play. It's kind of expensive. And if you want the same sort of Garuda type strategy,
Oh, he did the Lurrus Lotus.
Lurrus Lotus on the mold of 5.
Not bad.
Not bad. Oh, and now we're seeing Lurrus into Lotus, Lurrus, Lotus, Bob. That's a pretty good start.
That's a damn good start.
Yeah. Well, see,
That proves exactly what we were just saying. He kept a hand now that is perfect because he had Lurrus. And we're going to see a Mystical Tutor to start the game for Ken.
I mean, think about it. Lotus Bob is not bad. Lotus, Lurrus, Lotus, Bob is much, much better.
Yeah. All right. Well, we see he has Thassa's Oracle still in his deck. Flusterstorm on that. Well, it looks like he has it all.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot in those 5 cards.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you that's how Ken is feeling too.
Yeah.
So if you're out there watching, Mr. Roland MTG, who's just bugging us up a storm tonight, wanted to make sure we dropped a line tonight that this Saturday there is a real life paper tournament being played. It is you're going to be able to touch your real life cards, even though you're going to be playing online. It's called the Vintage Bonanza. It is free to enter. There is prize structure. You can go onto the Vintage MTGPO Discord for more information, and there's also more information on the Facebook MTGPO page. You can also reach out to anyone on any of the moderators on the MTGPO Discord, and we'll give you more information It's going to be a fantastic time. So we hope you can come out for that.
All right. Lurrus has joined us from the left side of the screen. I think that was a land on top.
Not as exciting without the Lotus.
No. He did have a decent turn, though. He cast a
time walk into
Lurrus, yeah.
And there's Abrupt Decay.
Abrupt Decay, well.
Lurrus is enemy. All right, and coming in for 5. This is a really good mulligan to 5 on Ben's side. And if there's one thing Bob does well, it erases mulligans really quickly, especially if you get to untap with it multiple times.
Yep.
All right. Ken needs an answer.
And especially if your opponent can't kill it without killing another creature first.
Yes. Yeah. All right, let's see what we got here. We've got Lightning Bolt the Lurrus.
The good old-fashioned Lightning Bolt.
The good old-fashioned white-bordered Lightning Bolt. All right, so we got a Bolt of Lurrus, which feels bad because you can't kill the Bob without killing the Lurrus.
Yep.
All right, so
the beautiful 4th edition Lightning Bolt.
It is, yeah. The mint white border Lightning Bolt.
Mint, never touched by human hands, that Lightning Bolt.
Have you ever seen such things?
Treasure Cruise here.
All right, Treasure Cruise is pretty good here. I don't know if it's as good as Bob, unless he can get rid of it.
Oh.
All right.
Treasure Cruise is legal in Pioneer, so maybe not.
Let's hope Ken moves his exile zone, because that looks like it's part of his board, and it's not. All right. Falk Pass. Bob flips Spell Pierce.
Yeah, I'll let him know. Ken, you just move your exile zone over to the side. There we go. So
Bob coming in.
Yep.
All right, so we know that Ben has a Spell Pierce in his hand. That's what Bob just flipped. All right,
Roland, the expert, says probably alt for put it under a black light. It'll glow funny. What did he reveal off his Bob that turn? Did you see?
Spell Pierce.
Oh, okay. So he's at 22.
Spell Pierce in hand. Lots of mana on board. All right, let's see what Ken can do now. Ken plays a Flooded Strand. That's definitely not what he was looking for off of the Flood. Oh, wow. Flooded Strand pass. All right, flips Tarmogoyf.
Pretty good.
It is pretty good here, especially to an empty board. Goyf is going to be not huge, but it's going to be big enough that it's definitely a threat.
Do either of these decks have a way to get a Lurrus back if they die?
So the one on the Grixis side is in exile, so he definitely can't get it back from exile.
Oh, right.
So Bug, it is very possible that some of these Bug decks run Unearth. They run Unearth as a one-of. So it is possible that on the Bug side we could see Unearth on Lurrus, which obviously that snowballs really quickly, right? Say you have a Lurrus and a Bob in your graveyard. If you get back your Lurrus, get back your Bob, then your opponent feels like they're miles behind, which is one of the reasons Unearth is just so good in a Lurrus shell. On the Grixis side, they're not playing that, though.
A Ponder here.
That is a
Mason in a great position at the moment.
Yeah, he is. That's a pretty Ponder as well.
Yeah, it really was.
Kudos to the foil-signed original Loro Ponder.
Almost as nice as that 4th edition Lightning Bolt.
It's close, but
it's close.
Yeah, that 4th edition Lightning Bolt is pretty good. If we see like an HP 7th edition Island, it's definitely not going to be.
All right, we see Thassa's Oracle here. We'll have to get Roland MTG to authenticate that Lightning Bolt. Thassa's Oracle here just for value.
It's not where he wants to be. This is going to be Thassa's Oracle, block your Tarmogoyf, which feels all kinds of bad.
Yep.
All right. Now we're scrying with a fetch up. Somewhat awkward. All right. I really want to know what he drew. That must have been the world's worst Treasure Cruise because he cruised and then just did nothing for 2 turns. All right. Let's see. Back to Bob. Bob flips Deathrite Shaman, his best friend.
All right.
And draw. This is where Bob just shines. Bob it just keeps feeding you cards. It's just value on top of value.
How frequently does somebody kill themselves by accident with a Bob?
So that's what I was talking about earlier with Joe Brennan. So Joe Brennan at EE7, he was at 8 life. His opponent was on Dredge. He had exactly 2 Leyline of the Voids in his deck at 8 life. Had 2 Bobs in play, goes to his turn, and flipped exactly Leyline of the Void, killed himself. And that was after he was undefeated all day long, and this was in top 4 on camera, just kills himself. So it is possible. I mean, you know that you're playing him in a deck that runs 4 Force of Wills, so that's your biggest threat. And you also have Treasure Cruise, Dig Through Time, so you could just take 8 to the face. You're just sort of hoping that you're not, right? You also have, Brian, in the past, Brian Kelly has played Dark Confidant and Blightsteel Colossus in the same deck. So then you're really rolling the dice there, hoping you just don't take 12 off the top.
All right, let's get a life total check from here. Let's check in with these guys.
All right.
So confused.
Hey guys, what's your life totals now?
You actually have it correct. It's 14. I actually have 5. Sorry, not 4 for Ken.
All right.
19 to 5.
Gotcha. Thanks, guys.
Okay. Bob Trigger.
Yep.
All right. Force of Will.
All right, there's the Force of Will flip. Take 5.
All right. That's what Ken wants to see. Some damage.
Yeah, Ken needs a lot of help. I mean, I feel like Ken's just drawing a lot of air because he's got to be drawing a lot of reactive spells because he's not playing lands and he's not really doing anything proactive. But I mean, this Tarmogoyf's going to start beating him down pretty fast. Block with the Thassa's Oracle is not where you want to be.
No, not at all.
All right, let's see. We got tapping the Mox Jet here, probably another Deathrite Shaman or untap. He looks pretty threatened by that 4th edition Lightning Bolt. He's not really sure what to do. He's very confused.
Are there any board wipes he needs to worry about here before he dumps his hand on the board?
Highly doubtful. Highly doubtful on the Grixis side. He could be playing Toxic Deluge, but it'd be really weird for a young Pyromancer deck. I highly doubt he's playing something like Pyroclasm or Anger of the Gods or something like that.
A Black Lotus there.
All right, so Black Lotus, Yogg-Will.
All right.
All right.
Let's tune in and hear what they're saying here.
That's also, but I forgot.
Okay. Cards in hand?
4.
4. We're going to Force of Will, pitch Treasure Cruise, targeted Yogg-Will.
Had the Force.
Pyroblast?
Pyroblast your Force.
A little counter battle over here.
Okay, so 4. I'm going to Force of Will, pitch Treasure Cruise. Force of Will.
All right, I'm going to tune back into
Spell
you.
Pierce, targeting Yogg-Will.
Tune back into you, Dean.
Yeah, so
A second Force here.
yeah, I mean this just feels so bad if you're Ken. You got the Force. You're like doing everything you can to resolve a single card, but again, this is how it feels to play against a resolved Bob for 4 turns. You just gotta fight through so much. I assume there's a Flusterstorm coming here. He's counting Storm. Yeah, there's a Flusterstorm on the second Force.
It'd be for 5, no? Lotus, Pyroblast, Yogg-Will, 2 Forces, so Storm is 5.
Yeah, 6 with the Flusterstorm. So, I mean, it has to be 6 because he can pay 5. He's got a Deathrite Shaman.
Yeah. Yeah, I meant Storm. Storm is 5, and then the original copy is 6, yeah.
Right. So, I mean, is this...
All right.
I don't know how many cards are in Ben's hand.
Not sure.
They're discussing something. Not entirely sure.
Guess we could tune back into them. Let's see what they're saying.
Yeah.
So the one that I'm not targeting with Pyroblast, I put all the copies on.
Okay, so this one. No, this one. So this one, you put all the copies on.
All right, so he's putting all the copies on the first Force of Will.
Yeah, the first one.
Okay, so that resolves. This gets countered. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's letting the Force of Will and the Pyroblast
is still
resolve.
targeting this Force of Will.
Yeah.
And we're gonna fluster.
All right, yeah. So he's
Oh wow, he's
flustering
flustering back. Okay. All right, and Ken's seen enough. Ken's packing it in.
Ken scoops.
You know, but I mean that's he had Bob since the first turn, so I mean that's 4 or 5 turns with Bob. I mean that's a lot of card advantage to overcome. All right, so we're looking at some 7s. Hopefully there's not a lot of mulliganing here. All right, looks like we both kept on 7.
Nice.
Underground Sea, Mox Jet, and Mox Sapphire.
Sorry about that.
Merchant Scroll.
Ken, just be careful with your hand on camera. What is he
All right,
tutoring
Merchant
for
Scroll.
here? I'm sure, of
Ancestral
course, we don't know
Recall.
his name, but I mean his hand rather. We know his name.
We know his name. I would assume it's Ancestral, and it is
Gotcha.
Ancestral.
Yep.
When you see a Merchant Scroll like that, turn 1, it's almost always Ancestral.
Makes sense.
Your other targets in a deck like this, I mean, you do have Dig Through Time, but it makes no sense to get it turn 1. You'd also see something like you could be getting a Force of Will to protect a combo, but you normally see that later.
All right, so he forces the Ancestral, pitching Ponder. Clearly felt like that was going to be way too big of an advantage.
Yeah, and Ken just goes for it here. The downside is that with the Ancestral not paying off, you just wasted a lot of resources. I mean, he just wasted 5 cards to get nothing. And if there's a Thoughtseize here, now he's really hurting. All right, it's a Death Ray Shaman. Okay.
Death Ray Shaman. Yeah.
Oh, there's a misstep. Okay, all right, he's got something.
Ken with the answers this game.
All right, yeah, he's gonna need him after wasting all his resources on turn 1. Let's see what he's got now. Noticeably doesn't have a red source. All right, there's a red source.
There's a red source, yep.
And here's a Lurrus.
And there's Lurrus.
Lurrus has come.
So something I was thinking about last game is these vintage decks have not really been... Because if these were legacy decks, we'd probably see Astrolabs and Oko and Snowlands. That's not really a thing in vintage, huh?
So you see Astrolabe is occasionally played in Paradoxical Outcome, but you normally just don't need it, right? I mean, you have all your Moxen, plus one of the big differences between Legacy and Vintage is Legacy has a lot of card filtering, where Vintage has a lot of card draw. So, you see a lot more of just pure advantage in Vintage. Plus, you have all your Moxen, so Astrolabe isn't as necessary.
True.
Let's go push here on the Death Ray Shaman. But people have tried it. I mean, you do see it come up on occasion.
Yeah. It just seems like basic lands are not as important.
They are. They are. So you normally see, I think the Grixis deck is running an island, and sometimes you'll see the Bug deck will run a forest. All right, so Thoughtseize sees 2 lands. Joke's on you. Not sure Ken's thinking that way with 2 lands in his hand, but all right. At least he's untapping with a Lurrus. Lots of things can happen.
Does he have any relevant targets in the graveyard? Not at this point.
No, nothing at this point. Coming in.
Swings in again.
Looks like he
Opponent
drew
211.
some. Plays the Volcanic. And we're seeing... Oh, Demonic Tutor. That's a great top deck.
Nice. So what's he looking for? Just a land in his hand.
I'm assuming he's looking for a Delve spell right now.
That makes sense.
He can fetch and play Dig Through Time. He can fetch and play Treasure Cruise. He could get something to remove the Deathrite Shaman, but I don't think it's that important right now. And he obviously isn't getting a combo piece because he doesn't have the other part of the combo.
Roland MTG says Dig Through Time.
Dig Through Time makes sense.
Yep.
It's a pretty good card, especially with Ancestral gone. He could be getting... He could also get Yogg Will, but that doesn't really make any sense right here. I think Dig Through Time is our...
All right, so he fetches to fill his graveyard, and I think we're going to see a Dig Through Time here in the main phase.
Yep. Now, he is playing right into Flusterstorm and Spell Pierce with this, but I guess he's deciding that he's at a place where he can't really play around it.
Yes, Dr. Leo, this is Bug versus Grixis, as Roland MTG correctly describes. There's the Dig Through Time that we all predicted very much.
Yep. And he's delving everything, not delving the Merchant Scroll. Nope, he's delving everything. Delving everything, leaving one untapped. That makes a lot more sense.
Yep.
All right, we've seen it resolve. It is resolving.
Pretty
All
good.
right, so if you've never resolved a Dig Through Time, it is a fantastic card. Costs 2 blue plus 6, but it can be delved away. You look at your top 7 cards. You choose 2. You put the rest on the bottom in any order. This is obviously banned in Legacy. I think it was legal for a very short period of time, but is restricted in Vintage. And Pithing Needle. I assume we're going to name Deathrite Shaman. Oh, he takes
a lot of
issue
you
with-
have not resolved a Dig Through Time, and it shows. Says Land Go. Not sure.
Okay. I assume we're naming Deathrite Shaman here, and we are, and he's activating it in response.
Yep, putting him at 21.
All right, so I think we've got one card in hand for Ben. Let's see.
For Ben, yeah.
Draw go. Okay.
Still has his Lurrus sitting on the sideline.
Yeah, kind of hard to play it now. All right, let's see. All right. That Dig Through Time made a lot of things that Demonic Tutor made a lot of things happen. It was probably just a value. Thassa's Oracle, it is.
Yep.
You're just trying to put as much pressure as you can on at this point. And Time Walk.
Time Walk
All right.
seems pretty good at the
Time
moment.
Walk's on. Yep. Get the beats in. Clear the top of the deck with Thassa. Swing for 3 more.
Roland says Dean doesn't waste time resolving Dig Through Times. He just wins. Yeah, I think
That's true.
That's accurate.
That's true.
All right, so he swung in again here. Is that what just happened? Land Go says fair enough.
Not sure what we're waiting on
War
here.
and Peace, Jason. Thank you for the follow. And a lightning bolt.
Oh, the
just
4th
wrapped
edition
that one
lightning
up.
bolt.
That
for the
4th
win.
edition lightning bolt is so good in this format.
And so clutch.
Land Go follows as well. Thank you, Land Go. And thank you for joining us this evening.
All right. Looking at 7s here.
We're ready when you guys are.
All right. Looks like we're starting. Mox Sapphire. Seems strong. Mox Jet. Black Lotus.
Uh-oh.
All right. Down to 4 cards. Looks like a Lurrus.
Lurrus is out.
coming in. These are the starts that are very hard to come back from. All right, Lotus again. What's going to follow it up? Brainstorm.
Brainstorm. Maybe a sigh of relief for Ken.
Yeah, this can find a lot though. There's a lot of
Yeah,
mana
for
being
sure.
used for that Brainstorm.
Dr. Leo says you can also find the Legacy Discord link as well on MTGPO. Shameless plug. Yes, if you love Legacy, we're
Okay.
doing that too.
Thank you, Dr. Leo.
Also, check out our Twitch channel and YouTube channel. We have plenty of Legacy up there.
At Lotus Petal, we've apparently switched to Belcher now.
Junior Doc Delstein. Probably saying that wrong, but thank you for the follow.
All right, Lotus is down again. Recall me. Wow, this is such a good hand. All right, Ken is definitely feeling the pressure. There's still 2 blue floating from the Lotus. Jet is up. Lotus Petal is up.
I thought this was a fair decks. I thought we were doing a fair matchup tonight.
I thought we were too. We apparently sideboarded into something much more dramatic. All right, Black. Bob. The duo is together again. All right, we still got a blue floating from the Lotus. Still
By the way, I love that Lotus Petal. That is my favorite.
It is a very pretty Lotus Petal.
I had to get a.
And we got a Tarmogoyf. Very
Tarmogoyf.
fair turn 1. Welcome to Vintage, everyone. Even
Roland
the fair
MTG
decks
just
do busted
puked on his
things.
keyboard.
And we got a strip mine.
Oh boy!
All right, so we have a.
I didn't even remember he didn't make a land drop yet.
No. All right, so we have a 2/3 Goyf, a
All
Bob, a Lurrus, strip mine. Ken might just concede.
We need
he'll
the
play-
crowd to support Ken right now. He needs us. Filthy Hippie is just booing. He's just boo. Roland MTG says Ken's just being respectful by not punching Ben through the screen.
There's the lightning bolt.
There's a lightning bolt targeting
targeting Lurrus, I assume.
Do you strip mine in response? No.
No. I mean, he's probably going to strip mine at some point. Bob flips JVP.
All right.
There's something different.
It is indeed different. I love that card too.
Yeah, it is a good card. That card's been seeing a lot more play since Lurrus came out.
Roland MTG says Barokin.
Ben looks confused by his own graveyard. Coming in for...
Swinging in for...
5.
Looks like 5,
3/4 Goyf, and Bob is always a 2/1. Strip mine.
And there it is.
Tap on the table. Looks like probably a JVP. And it's a JVP.
Yep.
Now, it'll be interesting if he doesn't... Oh, he doesn't have another land. So that was probably his thought process when the strip mine was he doesn't have another land in his hand, which is interesting.
Gotcha.
I'm not really sure if that helps because he's got so much going on his board. Fatal Push. Now the question is, do you Fatal Push the Bob? You Fatal Push the JVP. Okay.
Interesting. Huh.
Still facing a lot of power on the board, though.
Dr. Leo says power creep. Hashtag power creep.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of have to... You kind of have to get rid of the JVP there because JVP unlocks it. JVP unlocks Ancestral. Doesn't really feel good to leave a Bob on the board, though.
All right, swinging again for, I guess, 5.
Looks like 5.
Yep. Creature, land, artifact, instant.
Yep.
So that was actually 6, no?
But, yeah, it was 6. Yep, you're right.
All right, so he's either at 8 or 9. Nobody knows.
Yeah, it's getting desperate, though.
Yeah. If there was an advantage bar on this screen, it would be plugged all the way for
It would be
right now.
very far to the bug side. And now he's got a misstep. He's just going to run right into this Preordain. Can't blame him.
Yep.
Oh, tapped Mystic Sanctuary feels terrible here. That is not the land you wanted in your hand.
Nope.
Right.
Land on top.
Flip land. Bob's being good. Play the land. Coming in for 6 again.
Let's check in
10.
with these guys.
Yeah, let's see what they're talking about for a second.
I'll pass to you.
What's life totals now,
0
guys?
outs.
What's life totals now?
He's at 1.
Oh, he's
I'm
at
at
1.
15.
He's at 1. Okay, strong
I
1.
can do this anyway.
Not real sure what he can do
Sapphire.
here. This is he could. Oh man, is he going to put it
Custom
together?
versus
Oh, that's
Even
not
versus.
House's article.
Hmm.
All right. Well, he's going to get ancestral. I'm not real sure what he can get here. He's going to get demonic consultation. He's not getting demonic consultation.
All right, that's
He's
strike
getting
1.
ancestral.
Ancestral,
All right.
okay.
All right. So there's a mind break trap.
Oh, boy.
Okay, well,
All right, let's hear from the guys quick.
Yeah, and I was holding Fluster Storm, Spell Pierce.
oh wow,
Also.
there was a Flusterstorm in hand. Yeah, there was no getting out of that.
Still had all of these.
Ben, that was epic.
Yeah, that was a pretty good first turn. That was a pretty good first turn.